hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. I'm Mika here at Leap Taken. I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. Welcome to Leap Taken. Today we're going to be talking about modern Imbolc, celebrating the fire of renewal. And I'll be speaking from my perspective as an African American witch, because why not, right? That's who I am. It comprises, it's part of my culture. So I thought, you know, this is how I do things. I mean, I could speak about it from being a cottage witch. I could speak about it from just being an American witch. But I think my perspective, just that because of my cultural ties and my upbringing, it's, it's a little bit different, right? But I think everybody can learn from it. So the emphasis is on the modern approach to practicing or celebrating Imbolc. So how Imbolc, we're going to talk about how Imbolc can be celebrated in modern ways in 2025. I'm bringing that up for a reason. In 2025. Because I know, heads up, tangent alert, coming up into this practice, into being a witch, I know one of the things that I used to do quite often was I was kind of obsessed with the old ways. I heard old ways, and I just assumed better. To practice the old ways mean, I don't know, it's more ancient, it's more accurate, it's right. I know where that comes from, but I was obsessed with that sort of thinking. So trying to do, and when I first started out into witchcraft, I was actually Wiccan. So trying to do Wiccan rituals and observe the Sabbaths and do all that sort of stuff, a lot of times I would be doing the things, but I didn't have any real connection, any real tie, because guess what? I was trying to do it in this neo-pagan way that was supposed to be ancient, and it just wasn't connecting with me. And I actually spent a lot of time in my practice making that mistake when I would do it at all. Sometimes I would not do anything, but it was a problem. So I figured this video might be helpful to somebody who might be stuck into that where I was. And I was in that space for some time at the beginning of my practice. So I'll be honest, it was a problem. I had trouble celebrating these Sabbaths. So we're going to talk about a year of transition and transformation, how we use Imbolc to set the tone for success, healing, and spiritual growth. The themes around Imbolc, if you weren't aware or you don't see it this way, I'm going to share how I see it. Renewal. It's all about renewal, purification, new beginnings, connected to fire, home, and creativity. That's right up my alley as a cottage witch. But as someone who does folk magic and things like that, same thing. Let me move my camera over because I keep looking to the side, not realizing it. What is my deal? Hold on a second, guys. I'm just trying to get my screen right. I am hitting a lot of buttons by mistake. It's like my first day here. Bear with me. I accidentally expanded my screen. Wednesday. Gotta roll with the punches. All right, so, and creativity. I want to focus on creativity because I was asked a question. If you follow my Discord channel, A Safe Place for Witches, I was actually recently asked a question about ways to celebrate Imbolc, any ideas, suggestions, and things like that. And I'm going to tell you to dip into your creativity. Paint something, make something, cook something, put an outfit together, set up a vision board, plant a Pinterest board on your new looks for the season, whatever it is. But I'm going to tell you to tap into your creative mind. And let's talk Bridget. So while Bridget is the main deity associated with Imbolc, if you didn't know, we can also work with African and diaspora spirits of transformation and creativity. Oshun, recognized around like the aspects of fertility, renewal, prosperity, or Oya, winds of change, clearing obstacles, and of course the energy of ancestors. Definitely, that's where I come in. Imbolc's meaning and cultural parallels. So this season of preparation, it's a time to clear out old and make space for the new. I think in all aspects of our lives, this is a great opportunity. So things like, think kind of hoodoo traditions a little bit. So like fire magic for new paths. A lot of black spiritualist traditions might use fire for protection, manifestation, and renewal, like candle rituals and burning petitions. I'm linking this to being an African American witch, which gets into the hoodoo bag. So if you see the overlap and the connection, that's what it is. I don't refer to myself as a hoodoo practitioner because I don't read. That's a longer explanation, and it's not negative. It's just I see things a little bit more expansive than to call myself a hoodoo practitioner. Technically, I mean, one could say folk magic, but I prefer the term cottage witch. But does my witchcraft that I practice involve hoodoo? Yes, technically, yes, it does. But I think that's innate because I'm a Black American witch. Yeah. Stay with me. Hopefully, you're with me. Okay, so other things: spiritual house cleansing and warding. A lot of us have a tradition of deep cleaning before the new year. As I did. Imbolc is a great time to cleanse and bless the home for protection and abundance in 2025. So this is another go around, especially, hi Dylan, this is for those who might struggle with the idea of, remember I've been talking about this since the year started. Some people don't like the idea of the new year and that we're supposed to be setting intentions and manifesting and resolutions and so forth January 1st because they believe it should be around spring. So Imbolc is the time where we're looking towards spring. So if ever there was a time to begin preparing to manifest and do those things, now's the time. You can go ahead and activate a little bit right now on the preparation for it, especially if you go by the wheel of the year. Bridget's energy and diaspora. Why am I struggling and talking today? Diaspora spirits. What is wrong with me? Well, Bridget, and I got enough sleep last night, so I can't even say that. I haven't been sleeping well, but last night it was good. So while Bridget is honored around Imbolc, it's kind of her thing. Spirits like Oshun and again Oya, or even ancestor veneration, align with Imbolc's energy of renewal and preparation. So candle magic goals for 2025. So let's, or I should say candle magic for 2025 goals. You can light maybe a white, gold, or orange candle. I recently got some candles. If you follow me on my other channel, you see I did a haul with Dollar Tree. They had all the colors, and I got as many as I could. But an orange candle is a good one for this one. So you want to light this candle to bring about clarity, motivation, and success for the year ahead. Dress the candle with oils like cinnamon, rosemary, or frankincense for spiritual focus. That's a very light and simple candle magic thing, and it kind of encompasses a lot of people's practices, in my opinion, whether you do folk magic or any type of magic, but a simple like orange candle, white if you don't have it, or gold if you're really fancy, but an orange candle goes a long way. I love working with that element. I know it's tied to probably that color. I've resonated orange. I think of sun, solar energy. I go back to being, my sun is in Aries. So there you go. Hello everyone watching from Detroit. Hi Vanessa. Oh hi, I'm glad you're watching from Detroit. I've been to Detroit once. I landed there. What did I felt like I was there once, like briefly, like in an airport situation. One day I'm gonna go there just to see. I've met a lot of people from Detroit, oddly enough, between living in Georgia and living here. Hi Gemstones. Okay, so on to the list. All right, so let's talk about home cleansing and protection ritual. So sweep starting from the back of the house to the front door to remove stagnant energy. Great time. We're talking about Imbolc and simple modern rituals that are going to infuse a lot of what we say as maybe hoodoo or folk magic. All right, so smoke cleanse, like with mugwort or rosemary or cinnamon for protection and clarity for the year. Make a simple floor wash. You can make a floor wash with Florida water, hyssop, or lemon to invite in prosperity. Fun fact, if you have been meaning to do your own floor wash or even buy somebody else's and you never got around to doing it, you can put a little essential oil in it. Well, just a drop or two of essential oil. Um, be mindful about which type of essential oil you're using, and there you go. You can just add that a little bit to it, um, for some of those protective energies that you're looking for as well. I would say rosemary essential oil. If you didn't have anything, I would just use that. In a pinch, lemon. Lemon is a multi-purpose um, item for me in my witchcraft. You can use lemon for banishing. Technically, you can use it for attraction. That's the whole thing. You could. It depends on your attention and all the other elements around it. But you can also use it for cleansing, purifying, anointing. There's always different ways of using lemon, essential oil, or the actual lemon. You can break it apart. You can use lemon peels, seals. I go crazy, seeds. You can get really into lemon. I love working with that. Planting for growth in 2025. So you can start herbs like basil, thyme, or lavender indoors. I'll be doing that. Symbolic act of new beginnings. Write intentions for the year on bay leaves and burn them for manifestation. Probably one of the more simpler things that you can do for Imbolc, for in general, but definitely this time of year is just write your intentions. And this is a time if you want to do a sigil, or some sort of symbol that you're connecting with that represents a larger thing, a larger goal. Write that onto the bay leaf. And as far as kitchen magic, you can make cornbread, honey cakes, or milk and honey. It's the milk thing. Milk and honey tea as spiritual offerings, or to infuse your body with warmth and prosperity for the year ahead. I'm a This is a darn near vegan household, so there is no dairy milk. So if I was to set out milk, it's gonna be soy milk or almond milk or coconut milk around here because that's what I'm dealing with. So I don't really like that aspect of dealing with milk. I've been lactose intolerant my entire life. Doesn't really appeal to me. And I don't even like dealing with milk. I don't like the smell. I don't like looking at it. It's a weird thing. I know. But I don't even deal with milk like that. So like I would not comfortably make an offering of milk. I don't like that. So for me, I could bake something that has a milk component, and that would be my offering. So making like cornbread or honey cakes or something like that, or adding creamer, my soy creamer, to my tea or something like that, and using that as an offering. I'm comfortable with that, but like actual dairy milk, love, I can't. I can't even pretend with that. No. You can stir affirmations and abundance into your food while cooking as well. The cooking part, let's get into that, because you can make it as elaborate as you want. You can set up several courses for the holiday. I noticed lately I'm getting more into just cooking a nice meal, kind of like how many people, I mean, in all cultures, but definitely within Black culture, for most holidays, there's food usually associated with it. Even, for holidays that technically people wonder why we might be happy about celebrating, but it just represents food, a day off, and just, kicking it with friends and family, like 4th of July, for instance. 4th of July, for me coming up, meant barbecue and fireworks. But that's what the holiday represents. I know I was going to get some good barbecue. As I got older and I had my own family, at the time I was married to somebody from the South, and so I knew we was getting the smoker. We were getting some smoked meats. That's what that was happening. That's how I identify holidays, the food. So I noticed the older I've gotten, I just want a good meal to associate with the holiday. So being a witch or a pagan person, guess what? I'm doing the same thing now. So like For Imbolc, I'm thinking, yeah, I want like cornbread. I want, because there's the milk component, soy, but still, I'm gonna want that. I'll probably do like a creamy pasta or something like that to go with. um, yeah, that's how that. Yeah, that's how I see it in my head. I don't know. Is this just me? Is this a? Is it maybe it's a Mika thing? I don't know. I caught another live. Hi. Oh, hi. How you doing? Name's Renee. How you doing? Um, yeah, that's how I see it. I know it's maybe I'm sure I don't know. That's how I see it. But I to me, that's one of the biggest parts about celebrating is having the meal. And then I think about like the dessert. Am I having a signature cocktail? Could be a mocktail. Am I having a certain type of wine with it? I go like this is how I'm planning now. This is how I think it out. Just me? No? Okay. I ate right before I came on, and of course, a perfectly cooked vegan meal. I've been cooking a lot more lately. Um, Bringing Imbolc into your daily life. Fire practices. I have my notes. Light a candle for focus, strength, and spiritual alignment in 2025. Um, Ancestral and spirit offerings. So you can leave a small bowl of honey or water, if milk, if you're one of those people, as an offering for renewal and blessings. Let's talk more about these offerings and the logistics of that. Good, good point, because it's a big part of Christmas. So why not the other celebrations? Exactly. Like go all in on the food. So let's talk about offerings, and we're going to tie it to this kitchen witchery as well. If you cooked a meal, an offering could be a plate of the food that you cook. Now, here's the thing, because we're not going to say waste food, because we don't see it as a waste. If you're serious about the offering, you're serious about making connections, this is never considered a waste. um However, you don't have to have the same size plate as the one that you have. You can do a saucer size plate with food on it as well. A lot of people don't talk about the specifics of food offerings and things like that, but I think that's important. Like, some of us grew up a certain way, and even though we're deep in our spiritual bag, it is very difficult to have a lot, for some of us, a large plate of food, knowing the purpose of it, and you might not feel comfortable with it. Don't judge people like that. I don't. I have some of those tendencies, I think, as well, and I don't judge myself. So don't judge people like that who might feel that way. Instead, the compromise for you to feel better about it is maybe just using a smaller plate. Now, there are some people who will set up, I've seen personally, people who put out very large food offerings for their ancestors, deities, and so forth. You've been cooking more recently. I feel like you kind of have to right now. I feel like we're in a situation. I'm not. I promise. I don't want to go full on into the craziness of that is happening too much. For my own personal sanity, I need to put some blinders on, even if just for this live. But yeah, based on the things that are happening, I feel like you kind of need to start cooking your own food. The next thing is growing within how much you can do. Um, this is actually the perfect time because I am going to start my seed library. Right now, I have seeds, but I just like keep them in a kitchen drawer. So I'm about to get a little bit more elaborate about how I keep my seeds and categorize them. One, two, around my home. I'm indoors because I can handle indoors. My gardening is about to go crazy. And my intention is to grow. I have to order some grow lights as well. I have a whole counter I'm prepared to dedicate to this, to grow my own food as much as I possibly can. That's everything from potatoes, tomatoes, green, like salad, lettuce, things like that, spinach, any kind of chard, collard greens on some level. I'm gonna figure out a way to grow some collard greens here. I don't really understand or how because I don't. I'm gonna figure it out though because I need my dark leafy. I like all dark green, like leafy green vegetables, collards, mustard greens. I'll do some turnips. Like, if listen, I don't know how to make everything taste good. Spinach, kale, I do it all. I have been meaning to watch your fastest regime video. I'll watch it after this. Yes, please do. Yeah, we're all about Imbolc. We're not. I'm not going. There are things like y'all know y'all didn't saw all the breaking news and all the other things. The memo was rescinded, by the way. The memo was rescinded on the memo from yesterday. That's all I'll say about that. So we're gonna, some of us witches who are out here doing the work against it seems like crazy power. So I think on some level, some of it's getting through. Did you hear, by the way, it did rain in California a couple days ago? Actually, it's rained more than once, from my understanding. A lot of witches, me included, didn't work for rain to come to California, and it's rained. It's actually rained here in Arizona, by the way, too. So, whoop, whoop. We haven't had rain, not really. So it's kind of a thing. I haven't seen rain in like I saw evidence of it recently, but like real rain that I've actually seen months. It's been a while. Dylan, you said, I've been thinking of possibly starting a food garden too. I've tried keeping a plant twice, but I end up killing them. I love watercress. I could do with, yeah, watercress, but it's probably difficult to grow because if the need for running water. Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm going to get there. I want to learn more about hydroponic. Is it hydroponics? Yeah. I want to learn more, basically growing the stuff in water and see if I can make that happen. I want to get the grow lights and there's like a stand or something that you can keep indoors and you can grow your vegetables. I know a couple of people who own that and it does produce and does it quickly. I'm over here being, a vegetable person anyway. This works for me. I've been thinking of doing a protection spell for my household under the Trump administration. You should. I've been loving the rain. It helped. It hailed. Oh, you are so lucky. I didn't have that experience, but I just saw like droplets. It seems to be happening when I'm asleep, which is kind of cool, I guess. So you wake up, it's a little gloomy. Um, it was gloomy this morning. I was like, oh wow. I mean, it's still gloomy now, and I look up. The sky is just gray. I don't know. Hydroponics. Thank you. The things I get stuck on. All right, let's get back to my notes here. So, offerings. Make it something you connect with. Make it so that something you're comfortable offering. Um, for Separate thing for Hecate, I gave her an offering of garlic, and it was just a whole intact bulb of garlic that I gave her, and I set it up on a bed of other herbs and roots and things like that in a bowl. I keep it there. I put the garlic on top. I did this about it's been more than a year now. Do you know if you leave garlic, eventually it regrows? You get this, the green comes out and it's trying to grow. Or if it's a bad batch, it'll rot. This garlic never rotted. It's perfectly intact. It's perfectly, yeah. And I made sure I got like a nice fat bulb that looked healthy because I didn't want any, I wanted to feel comfortable with like, I feel good about this. Here, receive this, please. And it's still on my altar, by the way, and it's still sitting there. It's been about a year now, and it's still in perfect condition. Um, that the magic that comes with offerings, food offerings specifically, or I guess perishable items, is interesting when you're connecting and you're working with ancestors or a deity to see how it doesn't follow the normal cycle of decay or sprouts and things like that when it's for a magical purpose. Pay attention to that. It's a thing. Not maybe not for everything, but it's been my experience, especially when you're working, specifically I think with like ancestors or a deity you really are connected with. The life cycle of perishable items works differently. Am I the only one who notices this? Not every single thing, but so far when I work with Hecate specifically, I noticed that my water for my ancestors, I never get like water lines or like hard water on the, because I use a black cup, and I never see any remnants of that when I clean, rinse and clean a cup out and add more water to it. I never see that, and I'll let it sit there for days. It'll evaporate some, but I just noticed it just. But if I did that with anything else, I would see it. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Dylan says, I've been doing creative imagination. I like that. Creative imagination for rainfall for Arizona, since it usually starts raining in early December. It has been feeling weird not having rain for the autumn winter. Yeah, we didn't really have a monsoon either. Imagine having a vegetable plot and dedicating it to your deity with an altar and statue included. Exactly. Okay. So for some of us who are indoors doing this, you can get the the miniature little statues and set it like on a windowsill or where it's at, and really plot it out and get. Here's the thing: if you're going to be doing it indoors, it doesn't have to look. You can still have an aesthetic, pretty flower pots or just pretty vessels or things that you connect with that you think are beautiful. Use that. It doesn't have to look ugly. Like, it doesn't just have to look like a bunch of mess in your house and stuff like that. You can make it look nice if you desire. Now, I'm all for recycling and repurposing and using things, but they don't have to be like ugly things. They can be nice things. I don't know. You don't have. So if you're gonna do cartons, like an egg carton to do your seeds or something like that, I don't know. Get a pretty carton. Some of them are colored. You don't have to get the ugly kind. Write on it with marker. Put stickers. I don't know. Make it nice. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have. You can derive joy from it and look at it and feel joyful about it. But yes, I would love to have an outdoor garden. I would have to change locations. I don't know how to farm here. I don't understand it here. I keep trying to understand and I don't. It just gets too freaking hot come May and for a good chunk of the rest of the time. And you don't get a break until about November-ish, October-ish. And this year, I want to say more like November, December, we started noticing a break in the weather. That's a long time of just intense 100+ degree heat on your garden. I don't know how to work past that, but I would love to have it. Maybe I can use Magick. Can you use Magick to fight against the heat? Maybe I should, right? um, Dylan says my main deity Poseidon. Yeah, you do work with Poseidon. Would work well for the garden idea since it's associated with the earth, not just water. I meant creative visualization, not creative imagination. I was like, imagination. Visualization. I mean, it's same. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I like that. Back to this list. Intention setting and vision work. Another thing. So you can create a vision board, as I mentioned, for 2025 with images, words, and symbols for your goals. Write an Imbolc petition, a letter to yourself about what you're calling into your life this year. I love this idea. By the way, I'm giving things I personally would want to do. Could you grow oranges and peaches? I could try. I could try. They have the trees, the fruit trees, like at Lowe's and Home Depot and places like that. And I don't want to spend the money on their trees. My sister, who's in Florida, of course, she's going to be able to grow everything. In Florida, she did pick up a tree. I think it was last year, and it was like an exciting event. Like her, the family, the husband, they all piled in, and they went out and they got this tree, and I think it was marked down. So I got to look for deals when they get marked down. She's a green witch. She doesn't say that. She's a green witch for real. Same. I'm confused on gardening in a place that has temps or over 100 degrees. It's very difficult. I burned everything I planted. Like literally, I saw it burn. The sun, the water, it all just fried it all. It's like I deep fried my new seedlings. It was horrible. My grandpa, who lived in Arizona, grew oranges and pomegranates. I gotta look into that because they sell them here. Okay, let's walk down this road of this tangent. So I go into these stores and I've gone to like independent nurseries and stuff like that here as well. So how do they keep their product alive, and I can't seem to keep the product alive when I get home. And I'm following the instructions. I'm talking to people. I'm on YouTube. I'm like YouTube in the desert, Arizona. I'll even take Las Vegas, like Nevada, or people like that. Like, how are you guys doing it? And then there's like this guy. He's on YouTube. Um, he's in Phoenix, and he's got a nice plot of land, and he's got this crazy garden out there, and it's like modern day Phoenix. These are not old videos, and I'm trying to understand, sir, how are you? How are you doing this? And he talks about shade and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. Nothing is fried in his backyard. Everything looks intact. This is a mystery that I want to solve, but my answer right now is just to go indoors because I can do GMOs, dark magic. What is this man doing? I want to know so bad. Like, how are you keeping? And it's a good amount of stuff he has planted. I don't know. Are we just catching him at the right time? But then how would he get it all to life? I don't know. I'm determined to find out about this person, by the way. Also, no, I don't know the name of the channel, but like if you probably search like Phoenix Home Garden or something like that, he'll come up. Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. The petition. A letter to yourself about what you're calling into your life this year. One should be a garden for me, obviously. Call an abundance of, freshly grown vegetables and things like that that I grew in my home. Be specific because, next thing you know, you're out here being a picker because that's all the jobs that's left for us. Stop. We're not going to do this. Let me pull it back. Let me pull it back. Let me pull it back. Anyway, so yeah, but seriously, write a letter. What do you want? Start asking yourself, like, what do you want to see? And I think that for a lot of us, I know I do this, what I think I wanted, the more I sit with it and think about it, maybe I don't really want that. Maybe that's a little bit too much responsibility for myself. Maybe I don't want to maintain this. Like for a moment, I was flirting with the idea of wanting a bigger home. But okay, if I'm not cleaning it, that means I have the expense of paying someone else to come and clean it. Also, what does that mean about the outside? Is that more to maintain? Do I want to maintain? We just talked about how it's ridiculously hot here. Do I want to be outside like that? No. So maybe I don't need a larger place. Maybe I need to stick to my cottage that I manifested and love it, which I do and I am. The channel Upflip did a video about gardening, and it's a man here in Arizona. It might be the same guy. It might be. He's got a pretty big following on YouTube, from what I recall. But yeah, so you see what I'm saying? Like sitting with an idea, sit with it. This is the time. Sit with these ideas, visualize. Also, don't be afraid if something feels too big, and because it's so big, it feels almost uncomfortable even thinking about you experiencing it. For some of us, maybe if you want to be partnered right now and it's like you like the idea, you want to call in love and all that sort of stuff, but deep down, are you willing to make space for another person in your life? Realistically, are you? Or are you looking to just have more experiences? Maybe you just need a larger friend group. Maybe you just need to put yourself out there more and meet all different types of people. And because of societal norms and social conditioning, you thought you were supposed to find that in a romantic partner. And realistically, you just need to go outside. You just need to be around people. You need to show up to events, festivals, fairs, what have you, and just be out and about amongst people and make connections and get, satisfying connections that way, build relationships versus trying to put all that on one person. But you thought that was the case, so you were calling that in. And anytime the universe sent someone to you, you immediately rejected them. There was something wrong with them. You weren't attracted to them, or it just didn't work out. I think a lot of times we do that, and you have to go deep. Shadow work. You have to go a little bit deeper sometimes, especially when you're trying to manifest and bring in these people into your life. I think like people, pets, animals, a new home, a new location, like you need to start to wonder, ask yourself clarifying questions on why. What is the why? Why are you wanting this? Where is this coming from? Um, is there anything in your past that is influencing this? And being willing to ask those questions before you start to write a petition, because if you are halfway good at doing this witchcraft thing, you might get it. So you want to make sure you really want it. The guy makes money from his garden. I sent you the video on IG. Thank you. Yeah, I believe to be a farmer. Oh my gosh, that'd be kind of cool though, to like work the to produce something that I grew, and then to be able to actually sell it directly, like at a farmer's market or something like that. That'd be sweet. I think a good intention for Imbolc would be for community, since I think we're going to need it more than ever now. Yeah, yeah. Definitely something. So what do you want to call into your life? Do you want more community? Yeah, good thing. Do you, maybe it's not material things. Maybe you just want more confidence. Maybe you want, better health, better relationships with the people that exist in your life. Call that to yourself. Write that petition. Invite viewer. Oh, ooh, that's the wrong thing. My notes here. There we go. Sorry, I had my own note and I was looking. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, invite deities into your life as well. Now, this is, yeah, having a small garden and selling those things would be cute, nice. It would be, I say cute, nice in theory. In practice, that feels like a lot of work. I'm getting to the point. Uh, I did a shopping haul recently, so I went out to the store. That was like a very recent thing. I went out to the store. I went to like 5 different stores in one day. Well, that tuckered me out. I can't imagine having a schedule, getting up every day and pruning and weeding and harvesting and whatever else I'm doing, and throwing some farm animals or something like that. I don't know if I got it in me. I love the idea of it, but in theory, in practice, I'm afraid I may not. I may just sell the farm. Like, I don't know if I don't want to use the energy that way, but I was just tired going in, and I was excited to shop. That's one of my favorite pastimes. Oh my goodness. But just that was a lot. Going to 5 different stores. Oh my God, that was a lot. But I was gonna say, invite a deity that you've been curious about into your practice, or just invite the communication with them. Let them know that you're willing to communicate. This is a good time for that. Remember, we're talking about new beginnings. I was someone for the longest time, I didn't do any sort of deity work in my practice at all. Even during the time I probably started here on YouTube, I wasn't really feeling that type of energy. I worked with spirits, ancestors, yes, but not a specific deity. I had connection, but not enough to make me want to keep going. It isn't until when it was 2021. Yeah, it's 2021. 20, yeah. Was it 2020? I don't even know. No, 21. I started working with Hecate. I had to think that out. Am I still, or I still struggle with the difference between 2021, 2020, and 2020, excuse me. It gets blurred for me. 2022, I don't even know what the hell happened. 2023 became its own thing. 2024 was a standalone year, and then we have this year, which, trust me, we will never forget. But I don't remember, like, I don't, there's no difference between 20 and 21. I don't remember any difference. Like, I don't even remember, like, what did I do for New Year's? I remember nothing. It's all a blur. Yeah, I love the idea. My garden has to be a raised garden bed because I'm tall, fat, and I've always had knee issues. Exactly. You can't, yeah, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, so if it's in the ground, you're getting down on the ground. So be comfortable with that. You ever see like older people and they're doing this? I'm like, and they say gardening as you get older is really good because there's so much bending and stretching and things like that. So, and maybe some mild lifting as well. So it's actually a really good thing to be doing as you get older. But you got to ease into that. That's work. It's a lot of work. But yeah, bring in a deity. This is a good time if you're interested. I mean, this might not resonate with you, but if you've been curious to work with someone, okay, the ones I would suggest outside of, we talked about Oshun, Oya, definitely. I already work with Oshun, not so much with Oya, but peripherally. But definitely I work with Oshun. So I would also say if Persephone, this is a good time to start working with her. Um, I think who else? Obviously Bridget, if duh, that's the obvious one, but I'm trying to think of somebody else. But yeah, I would say Persephone is a good one. This would be the time to maybe start trying to build some sort of relationship and start doing some research about Persephone. And you can kind of the thing with Persephone I find interesting is there's like some people believe she really wants to be with Hades. That's the point. Like it was just for show, but she really wanted. Other people believe no, he really captured her against her will. Others believe that might be true, but eventually they developed some sort of dynamic or something like that. And you can kind of just go down a rabbit hole about that. How do you feel about that? Pull out some cards and try to communicate with her. See what she tells you. What does she reveal to you? Um, it's a good time to work with these deities and ask questions. A community garden would be good. It would be. Who are garden deities? I don't know, since I don't have. Probably if I had a garden, I'd be a little bit more versed on this. Um, hmm. Now, if my sister would only embrace being a green witch, she would be able to tell me. But okay, so I kind of like what Dylan was saying. He works with Poseidon. So Poseidon, he believes, is connected to earth and water. So I would just think elemental. So Flora, Chloris, Venus, Gaia. Yeah, Venus for short. Okay, I got what you're saying. Agriculture, rustic deities work best with gemstones. Work best. Okay. Um, I know, for instance, yeah, I would definitely Venus. I would think on. So let's say the ones you're working with aren't known per se with the garden, but you're connecting with the elemental thing is where I was going. I would think I would work with somebody like Yemaya, even though technically she's in the sea, or Oshun because of the water element. Or who else would I decide on that? Some people work with Hecate from a gardening perspective as well. I can see how you can do that. Yeah, that's yeah. Look into it, but I would be connecting from the elemental point of view. I would think water, earth, probably maybe not so much fire. I mean, I don't know, gnomes and fairies exactly. That's what I have outside. I have a little Fae village set up, so that's all I have. Um and I yeah, my gnomes are in the front of the house. I don't have a gnome out back, but I have a protection gnome in the front. Little, and they have their own little house as well. I set up a smaller version of my house outside, and the gnomes right there, and it's a whole little protection altar right there. It If you look out, you would just say, "Oh, that's really cute." It's more than just cute. There's a whole theme behind that. I'm big on that protection piece. Um, but yeah, so those are it. So yeah, working with petitioning some sort of deity or something like that. This is a good time to do that. But basically, there's more than one way to approach all of these Sabbats, Imbolc included. Like you don't. Again, I started off by saying it was hard for me to continue my practice trying to connect the way I would read like in a book, because I'm not I I don't live I haven't lived in a place. Even before I lived here, I lived near the beach, so it was like it basically never was what giving Celtic for me. I didn't have that type of environment, so the things I would read about didn't make sense to me. So I didn't have snow melting, I didn't have ice still on the ground or anything like that. So the rituals and things, like I said, it didn't resonate. And I would try to do those things, and I was basically it was a losing battle. I wasn't really connecting. And one of the things I pride myself on as a witch is I don't do things that I don't connect with. I mean, I might try something. If I don't connect, then I might just take it as a fluke. Maybe it's just me. But if I do it again and I still don't connect, then I believe, okay, this is not for me. But I don't like just doing things for the sake of doing them because I'm supposed to be doing them or something like that. If it doesn't resonate, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to continue, or I'm going to do it my way. I think this is a great time. I'm going to pick up on a renewal theme and the creativity themes of this time. And I want to paint. I'm going to make some fun projects. I'm going to making some herbal blends and oils and things like that. And those things represent protection, prosperity, the things that you start to associate with spring. So by the time spring comes and we're celebrating the spring equinox, I'll have all these wonderful treasures that I can either admire, that or I can derive power from or use for spring. So it's all about prepping as well. I have protection gnomes too. Okay, cool. Demeter, yeah, Persephone, Gaia, Pan, Dionysus. There you go. Yeah, Pan, yeah. You could do all that sort of stuff. Work with all of those, or some, or none. Thanks, Dylan, for those extra suggestions. All right, so those, yeah, that was it. Oh, I did have something, and it's like a blessing slash affirmation that I pieced together. As the fire of Imbolc burns bright, may 2025 bring clarity, renewal, and abundance. May I walk in alignment with my purpose, protected and guided by my ancestors and spirits. So it is, so it shall be, or so mote it be. So that is my you can use that as well if you like it. I'm gonna copy it and put this in the chat. If you guys like this, you can use this and just say this as well as part of your Imbolc blessing or affirmation. All right, let me make sure I add that. Yeah, so I added that. If y'all like it, this is something I pieced together, a couple different things, and I pieced together the words. I don't know what my deal is. I think because I was talking too much before I got on here. I'd like to make wind chimes. Ooh. He's a god with a massive PP. He's the god of fertility, but mostly plant earth fertility. Well, we might need to talk about some of these. Like have who's who of gods and goddesses. Wouldn't that be a fun talk? You're making me think about that when you said that. Like, let's just look at them. Let's do a breakdown of all these different gods and goddesses, but not like a fun breakdown. Like we'll create like a Real Housewives type tagline for each one. Something fun. I would want to keep it light and fun. But at the same time, knowledgeable. You learn a little bit more. Wouldn't that be kind of cool if you just did something like that? Like a panel of, we'll start with a certain set of deities, right? And just like, well, who's this person? Let's get into their background and who they are and kind of talk about it from like, I don't know, like a celebrity gossip point of view, or like I said, like a housewives thing. Like we were sitting on Bravo. we're the Andy Cohen in the situation. The historic images of him are fun. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Let me write that down actually, because that's actually a fun idea. Let me circle back to that because I like that. A who's who of gods and goddesses. I'm gonna make a note. I'm seriously making a note because I want to do that. Ah, where in my vastness of this planner should I write it? Here. Who's who of gods and goddesses? And it would be like a bit of a series because you're not going to cover everybody. So, like, maybe like a 3-part series or something like that. And we'll just go into a, fun conversation about them. Persephone for sure. Definitely Persephone. I would definitely do Demeter. I would want to talk about Hecate. I would throw in definitely some African spiritual goddesses as well, or Orishas. Um, Oshun. Yeah, I would talk about Oshun. And we'll talk about them in a very candid type of way. So it won't be like a stuffy thing where it's like boring and it's like you're giving just historical facts and all that sort of stuff. Would it be around things like the home and the garden? Some of them could be associated with that. Yeah, we'll talk about, yeah, we'll have a very fun conversation about them. Um yeah, and experiences with them. I'm liking this idea. I wrote this down. I'm gonna this is It's gonna take a little bit of work for me because I would need to make sure I got my facts straight, and then I want to deliver it in a very tongue-in-cheek kind of way. And yeah, I think it might be kind of fun. That might be a video instead of a live though, but I could do it like a premiere, so I'm talking with you guys in the chat. Uh, because I would probably need to do like transitions and stuff like that, and set up imagery and things like that so we can look at. So, I mean, technically, I could do it on a live, but I'm gonna think on this. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about it. But I like this as a bit of a series. That would be kind of cool to set up. So it'll just be a fun way to get to know these different. I don't like boring stuffy. I check out. I can't do boring and stuffy. I can't do documentary style, but so much it has to be engaging because I ugh. The older I get. Fun fact, I thought I was a focused person for the most part as an adult lady, until I got to this phase of my life. And I if I got tested for ADHD, I'm almost guaranteed I have it. I've never experienced anything until this stage of my life. If you are watching and you're approaching the approximate stage of where I'm at, no one tells you this. That's a thing. Like wires, like I remember years ago looking at my mom. I'm like, this lady just runs around like a crazy person. She's got all these different things she's doing at once. Like, sit down, lady. I'm that lady. I'm that lady. Life comes at you fast. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Life comes at you fast. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I wrote it down. I made a note. I'm gonna work on that in my planner, my witchy planner, which is available at leaptaken.com if you're interested. On my notes pages, I use my planner every day. I love using this planner. I love all the extra pages, the daily planner, the weekly. I even keep my daily tarot oracle. I wrote there, I'm flipping through, I'm talking about it, my week of magic. So this is a good time to keep track of like, when did you clean that altar? When did you put the offering on the altar? You can note it there. My notes pages. I use this for everything. I have like my meal ideas on here. I'm 44 and I think I understand what you mean. You know what yeah, like it's a struggle out here, y'all, to just like stay focused. And this was never it was never this bad until now. I don't know, maybe it's a sign I'm not supposed to focus on one thing but for so long. Like, I'm supposed to be a little bit more flighty. Um I don't know, my goal at this stage of my life is to be like one of the aunts on Practical Magic. I want to lean into that. Like, I want my life to be just like, I'm just like this witchy lady in this home, and I mean, you're willing to pay me when you need something from me. Like, they don't mess with them. I don't want to be messed with either. But they have their people they go to, because they go to solstice events and things like that, and they dance naked. Obviously, clothing optional. They mentioned that in the movie. That's the goal. That's what I'm aging into. I want to be like one of the aunts on Practical Magic. I want to age into that. Yeah. With a little bit of uh little bit black girl magic added in. But I guess black woman magic at that point. I love the aunts. I love the aunts. They were a trip, but they were powerful and they knew what the heck they were talking about. And I love when in that movie, well, the books is a little different, but the movie, if you think about it, they were, when everything went crazy and they're looking around after the whole tequila incident, the Midnight Margaritas scene, um, they were like, they told the little girl, tell them to clean up their own mess. I would do that. I want to get, I don't, I'm not here trying to get involved. I got ADHD. I can't focus. Remember, I'm getting too old for that. So I'm out somewhere dancing under the moon, naked with my older witch friends. Like that's what I want. Do you think the aunts were sky clad? I think yeah, they said it. Clothing was optional. In the way they were so pro positive about it, like, oh no, we all did. Like that's what we do. We all, we're sky clad. That's what we get into. Yes, with my other older witchy friends, I want us to all be out there like that under the moonlight, someplace in some secluded area, um, dancing or by the moonlight, having wine. There's a bonfire, but nobody gets burned. There's good food, and yeah, we're all happy. And edibles. Yeah, that's that's a good time for me in my old age. That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm growing to. That's where I'm getting to. What more could you ask for? Listen, you get to an age and you're around other people. What's the fuss? What's the big deal? What are you gonna do? You said I wouldn't go skyclad. You get old enough. Eh, eh. I'm already leaning into it now. What are you gonna do? All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. But hopefully, you guys, the whole point was I wanted to approach this about modern Imbolc and not for the longest time. I didn't really celebrate Imbolc because I didn't fully connect. Low key, I didn't really comprehend what it was even really about. But once I started thinking in terms of like renewal, I could connect with renewal, transformation, creativity, those themes. When I put it in terms of a theme, then I could start to connect to it. And it just becomes a spot on the calendar where it's like, it's not that I wasn't being creative before or I won't be creative after, but it's a focus thing where it's an opportunity for me to, no matter what else is going on, and this is a perfect time because there's a lot going on, and my emotions and my mental state has been crazy, like up and down, because of all the events of everything else that's happening outside my home, that can affect what happens in my home. This is a welcome time for me to express my creativity, to work on healing, to work on transformation, and kind of block a lot of that stuff out so it doesn't consume me. So I'm grateful that we're coming up on this time because it's a place. It's an intentional time to focus for me. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you. I'll see you too. Happy early Imbolc. Same to you. By the way, yes, happy Imbolc to all. But yeah, hopefully this reaches you. If you do nothing but just think about some new things and things that you want to create, you're celebrating Imbolc. And I'll end it here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the join button to join Leap Taken membership. It supports the channel, and there's some wonderful perks like 40% off everything over at leaptaken.com. Head to my website, leaptaken.com. You can check out the services. You can book me for a reading. I do mentorship. I offer monthly moon readings that are personalized tarot oracle readings associated with a full new moon and some major astrological events delivered to your email once a month. So check that out as well. And I have another channel if you're interested where it's more vlog style, definitely centered around my home because it's called Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch. So it's definitely more home centered, more of that part of my magic. If you're interested, you can follow me there as well. The links for everything's in the description. And thank you all for tuning in, watching, and talking to me. I appreciate everybody. Mary Imbolc. Bye.